What was up there? Thank you very much for coming to this video. In this video, I'll show you how I would use Whop Content Rewards to absolutely blow up your tech startup and absolutely dominate the competition. Because I was doing some research, and as you can see from the image ahead of me, uh, the largest uh, the largest problems faced by tech startups. This article was about tech startups. So the largest articles faced by tech startup is lack of capital, lack of customer awareness, scalability issue, hiring challenges, and too much competition. So the the uh, the factors here, which is too much competition, lack of customer awareness, and scalability issues, can all be solved, in my opinion, with Whop Content Rewards. Because scalability issues inherently comes from not enough people knowing about your product. Like if not enough people know about your product and they are actually interested in the product and it's a good product, then that's something that will scale your startup. If a lot of people know about your startup in that way as well, it will scale your startup. And even if there's a lot of competition, if you're able to stand out from your competition while having that organic online presence, then you will also, well, blow up. You will actually not actually face the difficulties of that startups are facing. So how I would solve this and how I would take my startup to the next level is by doing Whop Content Rewards. So what is Whop Content Rewards to begin with? Well, content rewards essentially like paid ads, but a lot better. Because you see, paid ads are riddled with very high costs. You're paying $10 to $15 for 1,000 views, and the trust isn't really there because in the eyes of the consumer, there is consuming an advert, which most of the time we all find kind of annoying and might even install ad blocks to just hide them. And with organic marketing, on the other hand, that does have the trust. Also, there's no cost to it, so it solves those issues. But the downside of that is that it's incredibly time consuming. So if you're actually managing a startup and trying to get it off the ground, all star, you're not going to be able to sit down for hours upon hours a day promoting and creating organic content. So the perfect middle ground for this is what Whop has created with content rewards, because a content reward is essentially an opportunity that you're opening up to creators of either your selection or publicly to everyone to promote your product or your startup according to your requirements and your guidelines. So it has all the trust from organic because the creators are promoting and creating the videos themselves. And it's in a paid ads format where it doesn't require the time investment from you. Also, another pro of this is that the cost is super low. It's around 10% of the price for paid ads because you're paying these creators around $1 to $2 for 1,000 views instead of paying these platforms $10 to $15 for 1,000 views. And those views you're getting are also more valuable because they have a lot more trust attached to them, and it's not just a random company that's trying to show an advert to people essentially. So this all results in a lot cheaper costs and better results. And this is how I would go about to blow up my tech startup, because we can even see this is what people are doing in real time to get their tech startups off the ground. So to get this all set up, before I'll show you the case studies of this actually working, to get this set up, you need to go to whop.com. Now create an account for whop.com, and once you create an account, you'll simply go to whop.new. Creating an account should take a minute. I just signed in with Google and it was done. Then once that's completed, you'll simply go to whop.new. Then once you're at whop.new, it's a simple 3-step process. Sorry, my computer is a little slow right now for some reason. So you would then go to create an organization. So create an organization, and this is to create a Whop. And a Whop is essentially a community that will be hosting this content reward, which is the opportunity for the creators to promote your tech startup and for you to pay the creators for that. So you'd of course title this with your thing. So let's say Linus Tech Startup. And you'd of course write a description about this. So helping people get paid for promoting my tech startup. Then you click continue, and then you put a Whop link as well, which is appropriate. So I'm not going to create a Whop now because I already have 4 and I don't want to spam Whop too much. But this is how you do it. Then you just click continue, and 5 seconds later you would have a Whop. Now for this Whop, you can of course spend a few minutes to make it a bit more aesthetically pleasing if you want to, but you don't have to. The purpose of this is to host a content reward at the end of the day. So once that's done, then we'll go to the Discover page. When you're at the Discover page, you'll go to Content Rewards and click the plus next to it. Once that's completed, then we'll select what we want, the Whop we want to create this content reward within. Click continue, And now we're going to put in all the details about the content reward. So like the title, the content type, category, your budget, which you want to spend on this content reward. You can increase or decrease the budget at any time, so that this is not set in stone. If you're spending $1,000, let's say, and you see that the results are so amazing, you can always increase it to 2,000, 3,000, or however much you want. The reward rate is what you're paying the customers for 1,000 views. Now, this I recommend should reflect their level of how much time they need to invest into this. If this is clipping, where you're just repurposing your content, then that of course takes a lot less time. So that also means that you don't need to pay them as much for 1,000 views because sorry about that. Yeah, but that also means that you don't need to spend as much time creating the content. So then the creators don't need to can create more content so that you can pay them less. But if they create UGC, then we'll have to invest more time into it, and you should also pay them appropriately. So that's, of course, very, very good. Now, of course, just fill in all these details. And for the requirements at the bottom, here's where you should specify what you're really looking for. So let's say this startup is looking for US clients. Then you should, of course, specify that the audience location must be US, or let's say a 75% US at least. You can say that the creators must be from a certain region. You can say that how the video should be structured. If there should be a link in bio, if there should be a call to action at the end of the video to your website, if there should be an account that is tagged in the video, or whatever the case is, you should specify this all so that they know what to produce and you're getting the content you want. And then, of course, even once they have produced something, if it's exactly to the requirements or not exactly to the requirements, they'll submit this, and then you'll go through them and manually approve the ones that you think fit your requirements and disapprove the one that doesn't. So no one is going to steal your budget as well. So, and to look at companies that are already doing this, we can go to this content rewards tabs and click show all, because this is what I recommend you do for everything. And once you have the content reward set up, as I showed you earlier, you can then decide if you want to, you'll essentially just hit continue, and then you decide if you want to open this to everyone or have a select few creators that can only take part of this. But that's totally your choice. And if we're looking at this now, you can see that there's so many people are doing this. Like, let's even say, like here we see Wava AI, which is a tech startup that has done this. Kalashi, it's a betting company that is doing this. It's going very well for them. We can see that there's so many people that is promoting everything on here, and doing this, you could really take your tech startup from, well, literally not being known at all to having an army of creators behind it promoting it and making you the big dog in the space. And this is how I would do it, and this is how I recommend you do it, because it's just such an insane opportunity. You're still so early to it. So I really recommend you get on this. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just I'll happily get back to all the comments below, and let me know what you thought of this. And this is why I recommend you do to get your tech startup off the ground and thriving.